Getting started, I'll introduce myself. My name is Margaret Harman. I'm the VP of Operations at Work4. I have been in recruitment marketing for going on 7 years, and I've been in marketing in general for a whopping 10 years now, and I'm very pleased to speak with you today.
Yes, and I'm Ron Yazzettii. I'm actually the Senior Sales Director at Work4, and I've been here for almost 10 years. I've been in the recruitment marketing space, though, since 2003, so a little over 18 years, a collection of knowledge across many different industries, job types, et cetera. So looking forward to speaking to everyone today as well.
Fantastic. And I'll give you a brief agenda for today's webinar. We'll start by talking about the top hiring trends in 2022 based on our own research and survey data. We'll discuss an overview of each trend, counting down to the number one trend. And we'll also talk about ways you can implement each of these trends for your own brand.
All right, that's right, Margaret. We've got a lot of ground to cover, so let's get started. In the final moments of 2021, we surveyed over 20,000 recruiting professionals in a variety of industries across the US, UK, and Canada and determined these trends. So these trends were selected by you. Let's start the countdown now.
Recruitment marketing is the trend that's coming in at number 5 on our list. Recruitment marketing is applying marketing best practices to your recruiting strategy to promote your employer brand and to get more hires. Some examples are measuring analytics, sending out targeted messaging, and leveraging tech-enabled automation for your recruiting strategy.
The purpose is to attract, engage, and nurture prospective candidates and convert them into applicants by communicating your employer brand and value. This method of recruiting effectively turns your talent acquisition team into a sales force. Their mission is to sell candidates on a new career.
So now we'll talk about the steps to implement recruitment marketing in 2022. You'll first want to define your candidate persona. Your candidate persona is a semi-fictional representation of your ideal candidate, similar to an ideal customer profile or ICP in marketing. Your candidate persona should not be only a perfect fit for your position, but also for your company culture.
After you define your candidate persona, next you'll need to audit your employer brand. You can do this by doing a search for your organization and audit what prospective candidates might see. You'll want to note that what sites show up, what past and current employee reviews say about you, and what factors unique to you as an employer show up. Gather as much information and data as you can to learn what publicly differentiates you from your competitors.
For most companies, social media will play an integral part in your recruitment marketing strategy. You'll be using your company's social channels to engage followers and drive up potential candidates to become part of your talent pool. Therefore, the next step is to create or update your brand's social profiles.
So Work4 allows and has a tool to have recruiters automatically share your company's jobs to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And it offers a core benefit that allows you to leverage your workforce to share your company's employer brand and jobs. This tool keeps your messaging consistent across the board for both your recruiters and your team.
That's great, Ron. Before you get started on recruitment marketing, you'll want to select a goal for recruitment marketing in general, and then for each of your individual campaigns. Recruitment marketing could be leveraged for a variety of stages in your hiring process, and I'll give some recruitment marketing examples on the next slide.
Yes, Margaret, and the real advantage of this type of recruiting is the ability to drill down on those analytics, such as specific channel performance, cost per lead, cost per applicant, cost per hire, and much more. Done right, recruitment marketing can help you to track your marketing campaign's ROI and allow you to quickly adjust underperforming channels and messaging.
That's right. And with recruitment and marketing being my background, we wanted to give you some really nice examples. So marketing really falls into two buckets, which will be organic recruitment marketing and paid advertising. Organic really means unpaid, and it'll be SEO, free social profiles. So as one example, you may want to highlight how great it is to work at your company, and you could create specific profiles on various platforms to highlight employee testimonials and share your jobs. To measure its effectiveness, you could count the number of followers on those platforms. Another platform-specific example of organic recruitment marketing is if you were to have a profile on Instagram, you could say, "We're hiring," link in bio, and in the bio, link to your careers page with a UTM code with a URL and with a UTM code in the URL that indicates those visitors came to your website from Instagram. For paid advertising, you get the benefits of organic, which are impressions and branding, but you'll also be paying for a specific optimization, so you'll want to have a clearly defined goal. As one example, you need more applications to a specific job, so you decide to promote it on social media with a budget. Because your application process is lengthy and not optimized for mobile, you decide to run a lead ad to collect potential candidates' information, and then you'll follow up with them later. To measure the effectiveness of your campaign, you can look at your cost per lead, cost per applicant from this campaign, and cost per hire.
Margaret, that is super helpful. So number 4 on our trends list is candidate nurturing. Candidate nurturing is the process of engaging with candidates at different stages of the hiring process. Your goal is really to convert those candidates into a hire, but added benefit is increased brand awareness and satisfaction as you're moving them through that funnel.
That's great, Ron. And the purpose is to keep candidates engaged throughout the hiring process and to create a positive candidate experience from the start. This strategy relies on platforms such as email, text, and messaging to engage talent from first contact through conversion and subsequent onboarding. Going back to my previous example of leveraging paid advertising to run a lead ad, anything that happens after they submit their lead is candidate nurturing. So with those lead ad candidates, you could send them 3 automated text messages and emails with a link to the job, asking them to complete their application.
Great. And so nurturing campaigns can be customized to reach out to different candidates depending on their stage of the hiring process. You can target all visitors to your career site, those who complete a specific action, people already in your talent network, or even re-engage with previous applicants who may not have selected for an open role, just to move them through your funnel.
That's right. And there are many different channels that you can use to perform candidate nurturing, but email and SMS are the top 2 choices. SMS has an overall open rate of 98%. A best practice is to nurture through multiple platforms at the same time. With technology, there's really no reason that you can't.
So a good nurturing strategy is designed to reach out to candidates multiple times throughout the hiring journey. We found 52% of candidates feel that the biggest frustration during the job search is the lack of communication of recruiters. And 81% of candidates believe employers continuously communicating status updates to them will greatly improve the overall experience. And a lot of people think of that as the black hole. So nobody wants to be trapped in that.
Nobody wants to be trapped in the black hole. That's right. Nurturing means reaching out more than once, and automation is going to be the key to keeping the process simple for you, your team, and the candidate. And we've reached the middle of our countdown, and our number 3 trend for 2022 is messaging platforms. Messaging platforms are the next generation of recruitment automation, leveraging mobile devices to keep you in contact with candidates no matter where they're at.
The purpose of messaging platforms is to automate recruiting communications and to streamline the hiring process for both recruiters and candidates, as well as decreasing your overall time to fill.
That's right. So modern messaging platforms like the one developed by Work4 are the potential tool to utilize in various stages of the hiring process. With messaging platforms, you can invite candidates to join your talenting pool and apply for open positions. You can invite candidates to attend your hiring events, and you can even schedule interviews via messaging. Now you want to determine which channel or channels are right for your brand. Messaging recruiting can be done through SMS, text, email, calendar invites, and even Facebook Messenger or WhatsApp. And as a best practice, reach out via multiple channels, because with technology, there's no reason that you can't.
Great. And I would also add frequency to that as well.
So
now you... That's a good point. Thank you, Margaret. Now you need to craft your message. So we suggest identifying yourself as at the very start of the chat, along with the job title, description, and your overall organizational name. Remember to include your call to action, such as apply on our website or schedule an interview. And as a general rule, aim to keep your message under that 160 character limit.
Yes, definitely want to keep your message short and within the platform's guidelines.
So we are now nearing the end of our countdown, and video interviewing is the #2 trend of the year. Video interviewing is the process of interviewing candidates remotely using video technology. Especially during the pandemic, this technology provides employers with the ability to meet candidates face-to-face while keeping safety a top priority.
That's right. Did you know, Ron, as we head into the second year of the COVID pandemic, 79% of employers are now regularly conducting video interviews?
I didn't, and that sounds like quite a lot. So thanks a lot for that fun fact, Margaret. The purpose of video interviewing is to provide employers with a safe and effective form of communication to interview potential candidates without losing one-on-one interactions. Additionally, video platforms can help to eliminate delays caused by scheduling complications and reduce the risk of losing candidates to faster-moving companies.
That's right. Getting started with video interviewing can be a relatively easy process. The most important step is getting some basic technology in place. Most candidates and recruiting teams these days already have devices capable of video streaming, such as on your phone or laptop. And after that, a working knowledge of basic software like Zoom, Google Chat, or Microsoft Teams is really all you need to get started.
All right. Sorry about that. I was double checking to make sure everybody can hear us. I was getting a note saying that somebody might not be able to. So if a few people can go ahead and just let us know in the comments section that if they're hearing us or not. All right, so in the age of social distancing, video interviews help to create a more personalized process for both the candidate and the recruiter. There are a couple of different strategies that can be used with this technology.
That's right. Video interviews can be used in place of the traditional in-person interview, which can be particularly helpful in the case of hiring remote workers. And some companies also use video technology in the pre-screening stage by asking candidates to submit answers to pre-selected screening questions with their applications. I'm just going to check to see if we got a chat or a question from anybody confirming they can hear us, which they didn't.
Sounds like I heard that everybody can hear us okay, so I think we're okay.
Oh, okay, perfect. Moving on. Now for some best practices for video interviewing. To help make your interviews feel more natural, set up your meeting through traditional communications, such as a calendar invite, and replace the address with the meeting hyperlink. One way to simplify the process and cut down on time is by using a calendar scheduling link, such as Calendly. With this, candidates can select their preferred interview time without the back and forth.
Drum roll, and the #1 recruiting trend we found, here it is. We've reached the #1 hiring trend of 2022, and social recruiting is the process of advertising jobs, recruiting employees, and connecting with potential candidates through various social media platforms.
That's right. The purpose of social recruiting is to help brands attract modern digital native talent prospects in the digital spaces where they spend their time. Unlike traditional talent acquisition channels, such as job boards, social media recruiting allows you to engage with both active and passive candidates.
All right, so when getting started with social recruiting, the first question to ask yourself is, which social media platforms do my candidates use? When you think of social recruiting, it's likely that LinkedIn comes to mind. However, did you know that LinkedIn has 95% fewer users than Facebook? Consider your candidate persona to determine which platform or platforms will be best for your brand. In one of our recent surveys, 87% of hourly candidates reported that Facebook was their top choice for job hunting.
That is a very cool stat, Ron. Next, as we said before, you want to make sure to create or update your company's social profiles with your current branding. And you also want to post relevant content such as employee testimonials along with your job postings. Employee voice is trusted 3 times more than corporate messaging when it comes to gauging a company's reputation as an employer.
Huh, interesting. All right, so in conclusion, you can expect that every industry will continue to see a candidate-driven market. Advancements in the need for recruitment technology will continue to excel at a staggering rate, and use of pandemic-era recruiting tools, like video interviewing, will continue to be the new norm. Even without a market disruptor like a pandemic, wow, that's a tough, tricky word, pandemic in the mix, each year brings new changes, challenges, and trends to the recruiting field. Moving to the future, no matter what industry you're in, remember that change is inevitable, so follow with it.
That's right. And we will open it up to a brief Q&A. So please, on the right-hand side, if you have any questions, there is a questions toggle, and you can reach out to us and ask any questions that you have. And while people are sending in their questions, we also would like to invite you once again, if you haven't already, to download our white paper. There is an icon that looks like a sheet of paper, and within it you can find our 2022 trends white paper. And the white paper dives deeper into the numbers behind our survey. I see a few coming in. Faisal from California asked, what kind of metrics should I be focused on? Do you want to go ahead and take that one, Ron?
Sure, I'll go ahead and take it. So Faisal, the kind of metrics most of our clients tend to follow, depend upon the funnel itself. So if you think about tracking it from the point that the candidate first arrives, usually, the leads that they're receiving or cost per lead, to be more specific, all the way down to the hire. So obviously there's different points between point A to point Z, if you would, but those are the 2 main ones that we tend to communicate with our customer. Obviously, the better cost per lead or cost per hire you can get, the better. Most of the time, we're seeing visibility at least and the cost per lead, so we're actively communicating with our customers what benchmarks they should be looking for. And then our clients, obviously, we rely on our clients a lot to give us metrics on the hires and placements that they're making. So we do rely on their information and input to be able to give them guidance there. But overall, those are the 2 metrics that I would suggest at least starting with.
Fantastic. Thanks, Ron. And we have another question from Stephanie. She asks, other than Facebook and LinkedIn, what other platforms are suggested? Do you want to also take that one?
So Facebook and LinkedIn are the 2 most prominent ones that you would think about. However, really, there are a lot of channels that we're starting to explore more in 2022. Some ones that come to mind are TikTok. We're also doing a lot more in the terms of YouTube as well. So those are 2 prominent ones. You've got Instagram, Pinterest. I would say any platform where there's large volumes of audiences. I would say the one thing just to consider is the channel that you use depends a lot on maybe the audience that you're looking for. There are certain channels that are maybe geared towards, I would say, perhaps younger demographics or more entry-level candidates versus where you've got Facebook that really covers a wide audience. So just take that into consideration before you choose your channel.
Definitely. That was a great question and a fantastic answer. So we appreciate that. Roberta asked, what kind of results should I expect from texting? And I'll go ahead and I will take that one. From texting, open rates will be extremely high, extraordinarily high, around 98%. Usually in texting, you will include either a link to your jobs page, your careers page, a specific job, or maybe even a phone number so that they can call your recruiters directly. If that happens, you're looking at about a 50% click-through rate. After that, sky's the limit. All right, and it looks like our questions have staggered down. So it looks like we'll finish this webinar a couple of minutes early and give everybody some time back in their day. I'll go ahead and once again invite everybody one last time to download our white paper at this time. So there should be that icon. It looks like a sheet of paper in the webinar control panel. Definitely check that out. It has some really great insights put together by our team. And just as our conclusion, as our talent acquisition industry evolves, the dedicated team at Work4 is here to evolve with it. We're always working diligently to bring you the latest in recruitment marketing and technology, from high volume candidate lead generation to social recruiting, candidate nurturing, messaging, and recruitment marketing. We have the ability to tailor the solution that's right for you. And if you're interested in getting started, please send us an email. Ron's information is listed on there, Yazzettii@work4.io, and he'd be happy to talk to you. So with that, we'll give everybody time back to their day. Once again, thank you for joining, and have a great day.